Transgender women in Indonesia fear they'll lose their jobs and income in the wake of recent police raids that shut several beauty salons in conservative Aceh province. Several salons there remain closed for more than a month after the raids, and some transgender women have fled to Jakarta in fear. Even salons that are still open have virtually lost all of their customers. Yet the trans women, known as waria in Indonesia, say beauty salons are the only place where they can make a living. Anne Barker reports.
In Jakarta's south, a beautician is putting makeup on a client. Adele is a transgender woman who owns a salon in conservative Aceh province. But she fled last month after a brutal police raid forced the salon to shut and trans women to dress as men. I'm scared, she says. I want to go home, but I can't go through that again. In northern Aceh, another salon is still open, but the waria, or trans women who worked there, are as good as gone. The police told us not to look like women, so now we dress like men, says Rizal, who calls herself Bella. She's still traumatised by the raid when police stormed in and forced the waria to strip off their dresses and makeup, then cut off their hair and ordered them to speak like men. We were told to scream until a man's voice came out, Rizal says. The waria in this salon can't afford to quit their jobs. As transgender women, they have no other way to make a living. But since Sharia law bans men from touching women, they've lost all their customers anyway. The policeman who led the raids, Untung Suryanata, says he was forced to take action after hardline Muslim leaders turned against them. Islamic groups see them as enemies, he says. They were threatening to burn them, kill them. It's forbidden in religion for a man to become a woman, says Zulfadli, an Islamic leader in Aceh. In Islam, it's considered a great sin. The future for the transgender and gay community is increasingly bleak in Aceh, Indonesia's most conservative province. But elsewhere too, there's a rising tide of intolerance towards minority groups, pushed by hardline Islamists. The Indonesian government is now drafting laws to criminalise sex between gays or even unmarried couples.
There's going to be war, like a real war happening. There's going to be a lot of oppression.
One of the trans women's strongest supporters is the daughter of the former moderate Muslim president, the late Abdurrahman Wahid. Inaya Wahid says her father would be horrified at the direction Indonesia is heading.
People are fighting each other. They're so full of rage. And I really wish people will calm down.
It's an issue certain to divide Indonesia in the lead-up to next year's presidential election. This is Anne Barker in Jakarta for AM.